Bahrainis develop an ultraviolet disinfecting robot that sanitizes public spaces and businesses amid the COVID-19 pandemic.
FabLab Bahrain is basically a part of the FabLab network. The FabLab network is an initiative that started out at the University of MIT in the United States in the early 2000s. Currently, there's over 1,200 FabLabs around the world, including us. We're the only active FabLab in Bahrain. So FabLabs are basically a place where people can come in to innovate and create using some tools that are available within the lab. Tools such as 3D printers, laser cutters, CNC machines. And not only is it about the machines, it's about being a part of this global network and also a part of a local network of the people that show up at the Fab Lab of a similar mindset, of a similar mentality. So here at FabLab Bahrain, we pride ourselves of being one of the only active Fab Labs in Bahrain, and of having this network or place where people can come in and work together, collaborate, and basically turn their ideas into reality. So we are currently based here in the Youth Innovation Center, which is a part of the way that the Ministry of Youth is supporting us currently. We've had a lot of collaboration and support from the Ministry of Youth and Sport, including this. We've worked with them before on multiple different projects and collaborations. We're just really happy to be a part of this and be in this kind of place, because it really does add a lot to have the machines available to be able to prototype immediately. So basically, being here, we've had a lot of really different ideas of what we wanted to do. Basically, when the situation of COVID and that sort of stuff started at the beginning of this year, that kind of put an end to our plans. But still, we were still thinking of the way we can help people, the way we can help the community, especially with this kind of access to machines and people, basically, different young minds. This was one of the things that we ended up thinking of and decided to do. We created this UV robot that can be used to disinfect different surfaces. We want this to be kind of a challenge to our patrons, people, members of this place and employees. So we challenged them to do this within 1 week, and they did deliver. They created it in 1 week.
The Made in Bahrain UV robot is the brainchild of FabLab Bahrain in a bid to help businesses ensure public health and safety amid the spread of the coronavirus.
I joined the FabLab lately this year, and I have been working in FabLabs previously back in UAE and other countries. So with my experience, I was available here to work with the FabLab team, and we formed a team of 4 people. Actually, in this COVID-19 pandemic, most of the world started making masks and making artworks on the masks and other stuff, and they also did 3D printing some masks and face shields. As a FabLab, we are here doing technological impact. So we wanted to tackle the same pandemic or the same issue with a technological touch. Instead of just making masks simply, or making face shields and other parts like the rest of the world, we decided to build a robot that can zap the COVID-19 virus because it's an airborne virus. And while we have a robot with UV light that sanitizes and purifies the area from any neighboring bacteria and viruses, so we decided that we will make a robot with UV lights, which has an autonomous feature that can go around by itself. And whenever it needs a human interaction to overtake control, we do have that with a joystick, just to move the robot safely from one area to another area. mostly who are going to benefit from our innovations are hospitals, clinics, let's say clubs, because they use the training equipment every day and it's all touch-wise. So by taking the robot over there and giving it enough time to roam around and kill the virus, which is airborne and touch-wise, that would be the most places where they are going to be benefiting from these kind of robots, but also in place where mostly people are gathering more often or they work more often, like let's say fast food industries or even kitchens and other laboratories where they have to touch and move things and work with stuff manually with the touch of their hands. Yeah, and that's most of the places. As a team leader, we sat one day and then we were deciding to build a robot. And then first of all, the team leader is responsible to know the resources that he has. Also, what kind of people are around him, because you might have a good technician, but he ends up doing it very late. So we were well collaborated. The rest of the team were very into the project and we spent days and nights working continuously. So what happened is that we had our machines, which are laser cutters, CNC machines, and other needed parts of electronics equipment. And me as a team leader also put everyone to his knowledge, because part of achieving the thing in a very short period of time is knowing who can do what in the shortest period of time. So we distributed the team efficiently. So in that way, we were able to finish the robot in a very short period of time, which was 1 week, whereas other people might take more than a month.
I study in UOB. I'm still a student studying instrumentation and process control engineering. At the same time, I work with FabLab as a product designer and developer for the programs. And I also worked to teach students and this kind of stuff. Generally speaking, I was responsible for the shape of the robot. As you can see, the acrylic shape and the wood. So as an obstacle, I took first the measurements, and then using the CNC, I was able to implement these measurements. And then I found out that they are wrong. You have a small tolerance or wrong measurements. So I had to fix them and then do this again. And it's a rapid prototyping process. So we need to do the design and then do it again and again till we find the best fit for the robot.
My part before and working in the FabLab Bahrain, I work in the school, VIX, Robotics and Lego and some electronics. But after joining in the FabLab Bahrain, I have more experience about robotics, about electronics. Now I am teaching in the FabLab Bahrain Robotics. I have more experience about VIX Robotics, Lego, electronics. The FabLab Bahrain have different machine, laser cutting, CNC, 3D printing, milling machine. Is all type of machine there. You can make your ideas.